We're going to have falling temperatures throughout the day today, but the good news about these dry Arctic air masses is there's not a lot of moisture with it, so as a result, you get this. We get the clouds pushing out, Arctic air is pushing in, and look at the clearing of the skies. We ought to have bright blue skies for much of the day, for much of the area. Remember, we cover a big area, and we're still going to have some lake effect clouds, especially out east, at least for the morning hours. We should have enough dry air to erode a lot of those as well. We're at 30 at Hopkins, been reporting snowflakes all morning. There are a few snowflakes around. One of the things you need to note, though, is the wind has shifted northwest, so colder air is coming in. Also, our dew point is really low, so that means we've got very dry air. That humidifier needs to be on inside the house, or else you're going to get that dry skin. Nasal's not doing too well with it. That humidity is everything inside your house, especially with dry air like this. You can see we've got some snow showers. This isn't too big of a deal. A lot of flurries and light snow showers. A few bursts where it might be moderate for a second or two, but overall, on the scale of what we deal with out east of Cleveland, this is not a big deal. And this will be out of here before we know it. Here's the cold air settling into the country. That front is now through northeast Ohio. We've got early snow and then that dry air you see eroding the clouds. Lots of sunshine expected with just few lake effect clouds out east. Temperatures, well, we've reached our high today. Congratulations. It's 8:52 in the morning and we've already hit our high as those temps are going to be sliding down. There's your northwest wind. That front is now through the Carrollton area here this morning. We've been tracking it north to south. So it's going to get colder from here. The core of this cold air is going to rotate over us tonight. And so, yes, it gets colder today. We're not going to get the -4 air temp that they have in Minneapolis. But overall, we're sliding down. This is like a ride at Cedar Point. It's one of the kiddie coasters, though, as we kind of go down very slowly. Teens by that drive home as you're preparing dinner. Yeah, it's going to be cold outside. National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast. We've got your temp and your wind chill on there. Overall, big temperature story once we get beyond the snow here this morning. Waking up tomorrow morning, single digits, feeling more like 0. We'll warm to near the freezing mark as we go into the afternoon tomorrow. Long Ranger forecast, quiet weather on Friday. Weekend, we're still dancing around a system. May bring us a few flurries on Saturday. Sunday, a system will be approaching, but will kind of dry up as it moves in. I've got a few snow showers in the forecast. Browns at home taking on the Titans, obviously. And then next week, a busy pattern. We've got a Clipper number 1 on Tuesday. Could get accumulating snow from that. Clipper 2 comes in Wednesday, still indicative of some warmer air coming in, so rain, snow mix. And then more snow on the way later next week. My goodness, December not letting up. Union Home Mortgage 10-day forecast. You can see as we go through time, boy, does it stay cool. Our average highs in the low to mid 40s this time of year. Overall, we're going to stay in the upper 20s and low 30s for much of the forecast. Again, a forecast you want to pay attention to next week.
Our temperatures, they're just too cold, and they get even colder tomorrow. That's why we have a 10 TV weather impact alert day in place. We're watching through Friday, light snow this morning that will add minimally to what we have out there right now, but it could create some slick spots. But whatever we get, it stays firm because we have bitter cold air heading in. I don't think we're going to even get above the freezing mark today. We can expect those high temperatures really in the 20s by this afternoon. So don't look for any major changes when it comes to this pattern of winter weather that we have in place. Speaking of that, let's get you ready for that morning drive, show you where the snow is right now. Here's what we're looking at across Franklin County and really around Columbus. A little bit of scattered light flurry activity. This isn't going to cause major road problems, but bridges, overpasses, watch out for some of those slick spots. Areas that are untreated could be a little icy out there this morning. Heaviest snow already pushing toward our south, north of Lancaster, right now north of Circleville on US 23, back to Washington Courthouse. Watch out for a little bit heavier snow. Again, major impacts not expected, but watch for slick spots. That'll be the case as you work your way to Chillicothe, over to Logan and McConnellsville as well. Expect snow to pick up in Athens here over about the next hour or two. Good news, behind this system, we're already seeing clearing skies in southern Michigan and northern Indiana. Bad news is that clearing sky is what helps bring the cold our way. And it's already cold this morning with light snow falling in downtown. Temperature 27 degrees. It feels like 17. Those feels like temperatures we told you yesterday, about 10 degrees colder than the air temperature. And that's still the case this morning with many of us feeling like the teens across central Ohio, 18 Lancaster, 19 Delaware, 18 in London. And it only gets colder from here. In the next 12 hours, our temperatures staying mostly in the mid to upper 20s, but as skies clear, we are already down to about 20 degrees by 6 o'clock tonight, and that continues down to about 10 by tomorrow morning. It is going to be just a bitter blast of cold air as soon as the system exits. The hour-by-hour forecast shows the snow ending, the clear skies returning, And it's this clear sky later today again that helps those temperatures fall quite a bit. Here's your 10 weather impact 7-day forecast, including that 10 TV weather impact alert day for early Friday. And it's really that temperature Friday morning that we're concerned about, because we're expecting this to be about 10 here in the city. But that's the warmest spot we're going to get outside of southern Ohio. Our temperatures outside the city, places like Delaware, London, over to Newark, those could be in the single digits Friday morning, wind chills even colder. So make sure you're wearing layers and you're limiting your exposure to that cold air. We do get back up into the 30s by the afternoon, into the mid 30s for Saturday and Sunday. Small chance for light snow this weekend, but don't expect it to cause any problems. Our next warm up that really gets above freezing, not to the end of the forecast, coming next Wednesday.
All right, welcome back in here. Let's talk about your 10-day forecast where, again, we've got probably 4 chances for snow in the next 10 days. Let me detail it for you here. Saturday, Sunday, just a little bit of light snow. Shouldn't be a big deal, but just to know that that's out there. Then we've got a parade of clipper systems, one on Tuesday, one on Wednesday, and another one on Friday. If you notice, though, temperatures will get at or maybe a little above freezing in the middle of next week. So that is something that could introduce the chance for a little bit of rain to mix in with that snow. But nevertheless, the cold air, the warm air, going to battle it out. This is more of a typical deeper season issue with clippers, but could be around for us next week this time around. That's the latest on our 10-day forecast.
Certainly a winter weather pattern setting up across much of the U.S. We have snow in the west, snow around the Great Lakes, heavy rain moving to the east, and freezing cold temperatures in the Midwest. Look at these temperatures from Minnesota to Iowa, not getting out of the teens today. Michigan, you'll be in the 20s, as well as much of Missouri, St. Louis, that includes you. We've got the 30s and 40s heading into New England, 30s, 40s, and 50s across the deep south. 37 for you here in Denver, and then 40s, 50s, and 60s as we head into the west. Some messy weather coming into the Pacific Northwest. That's going to bring some rain and snow in the higher elevations there in the Cascades. Also looking at that rain moving across New Orleans into Alabama. Eventually Atlanta gets some of that rain, and once that meets up with some cooler air heading into the Appalachians, we could actually see an ice event by tomorrow. Lake effect snow continuing in New York State, so we have a winter weather watch up there for you. Also looking at some watches and warnings as we head into Salt Lake City and Denver, into New Mexico, into the Southern Plains. This particular winter weather advisory for the Carolinas is going to start on Friday, and that's because we'll see that potential icy event take place there. So stay tuned to that. Travel will not be great. All right, Thursday, a very low severe weather threat, basically just some thunderstorms associated with all that moisture moving across the south. Let's take you coast to coast now. Taking a look at those temperatures in Seattle, you'll be in the 40s with rain today. Same goes for you there in Portland, Spokane. You'll be in the 30s, maybe some snow heading your way, and Boise in the 40s. As we head farther south, Sacramento, you'll be quiet in the 50s. Nice weather for you there in San Diego and Phoenix with the 60s and 70s, and Denver climbing into the 40s by the weekend. Looks like much of Texas will be warming up as well by Saturday. Places like Austin going all the way from 49 to 71 degrees, so that'll feel nice. Heading into the deep south and the mid-south there, Little Rock, you'll be climbing up into the 50s by Saturday. New Orleans, you'll be in the 50s with some rain hanging around, and Atlanta also hovering right around 50 with some more rain coming your way on Friday. Looks nice for you there in Tampa as we head into the Mid-South and into the Midwest. Does look like things will be improving once we get past these next couple of days. St. Louis, you'll go back into the 30s. Memphis back into the high 40s near 50, and everyone in general starts to warm things up a bit. In the upper Midwest, though, it's going to take a little more time. Minneapolis, Des Moines still staying in the 20s as we head through the weekend. Grand Rapids, you're going to be quite cold as well, but by Saturday at least around 30 degrees. And then pretty typical weather here in the Northeast. We have the 30s and 40s in the Mid-Atlantic and into New England.